For those of you that don't know, my name is Abbas Hamideh. I am originally from the village of Deir Yassin, which is west of Jerusalem. It was massacred on April 9th, 1948. It is one of the most catastrophic acts of terrorism that existed in history, not just in the Palestinian plight, but one of the most gruesome massacres. Per capita, it is higher than 9/11, unfortunately. And I just want to say that, being that we are just coming up on the, the 18th anniversary for 9/11, could we just take a moment of silence for the victims of 9/11 and for the brave first responders who lost their lives that day trying to protect America. So just a moment of silence on that for 9/11 victims. Thank you. I want to correct one small but big issue. One of the speakers, I forgot, not sure who it was, Don or somebody, they said the occupation or the military occupation of Palestine, 1967. Sometimes we make that mistake. It's from 1948. It's important to continuously inject that because that's what they want to do too. I'm from 1948, so if you don't mention 1948, you're excluding Deir Yassin, you're excluding 800,000 Palestinians who fled Palestine in 1948 alone. So please always just be mindful of that. Sometimes we forget, and that's okay, but we need to be reminded that the occupation of Palestine started 71 years ago in 1948 and not simply 1967. 1967 was the second phase of the occupation of Palestine. So 1948 was the Nakba, 1967 is called the Naksa. Okay, Nakba, which is tragedy, Naksa means double tragedy. All right, for those of you that don't know. So we have the Nakba and the Naksa, and we continue. It doesn't stop. The Nakba has never stopped. We still continue to be occupied. We still continue to be murdered, children massacred. In Gaza, they are attempting to return to their homeland, not just in Gaza. Keep in mind that 80% of the Palestinian residents in the Gaza Strip, 80% are refugees. So they're internally displaced refugees from Palestine. So they're from Haifa, from Jaffa, from Jerusalem, from Ramallah. They're from other areas inside of Palestine across the way from Gaza, who are also been systematically massacred, systematically killed. And what does this mean to the onlookers that are looking over here, this crazy Palestinian man with a loud voice? The point is, everybody here that is looking, the people on the sidewalk, the person going to the casino, the person just simply passing by, you are all responsible for the occupation of Palestine. You know why? Because your tax dollars, your money, when you go into the restaurant right now and you pay tax, that goes to Israel to kill the Palestinian people. That's how you are directly responsible. And I'm double directly responsible. As a Palestinian, I have a duty to speak up for my people. As an American that was born and raised in America, I have double duty because my tax dollars from when I work, when I get my check and they take my taxes, they send it back to kill my people. So they're taking my American tax dollars and killing Palestinians. So this is how it affects you all. The police officer, the fireman, the bus driver, the person going into the casino, you are all being affected. All the taxes being generated today will eventually go and kill the Palestinian people. So we are all responsible. We are all responsible on getting educated, on learning the plight of the Palestinian people, and effectively doing something about it. Do not be afraid of the Zionist war machine, of the Zionist Hasbara. The best thing that we can all do is to stop being afraid, because these people are ruthless. The Zionist movement is designed to bully you, is designed to find where you work, is designed to find where you live, and they intimidate you. We have Palestinian activists, like my friend in California, Dr. Hatem al-Bazian, the founder of SJP, Students for Justice in Palestine. They are taking flyers in his neighborhood, calling him a terrorist. They are plastering his car, his neighbor's cars, the houses across the street with flyers, literally calling him a terrorist, so he can cease and stop and desist from defending the Palestinian people. You need to know that. If you want to defend Palestine, you have to be brave, you have to be courageous. You have to understand that getting involved on Palestine requires you to fight back, to fight Zionism, because they are master deceptors. They've been deceiving not only the United States, but the entire world for over 71 years. They've been victimizing themselves, and they use the slogans of the Holocaust, and they use all these measures to protect their criminality. This is a wonder. It's actually a wonder, because they criminalize the victims. And as Edward Said eloquently wrote in his book, read it, pick it up. It's called Blaming the Victims. Edward Said, Professor Edward Said, who was a treasure to the Palestinian struggle, a Palestinian Christian, by the way, who brought the Palestinian issue in academia in America. They burned down his office too at Columbia University. You have to learn the history of this movement, because you have to stand strong. Don't be intimidated. The worst thing the Zionists hate is that you don't be intimidated. Is that if they call you a terrorist, you say, no, you're the terrorist. Simple things like that scares the hell out of them. I know, Don can tell you online. That's why they said I'm the anti-Semite of the week. He is the #1 Hezbollah cheerleader in America. That's what they call me, because they want to affiliate. They want to put in your mind, he supports Hezbollah. Watch out, Code Pink. He supports Hezbollah. He supports Hamas. Watch out, Jews. He's, trying to manipulate you. They do that on purpose. I take a picture with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. They blast her. They talk about her affiliations with Abbas Hamideh, this monster, right? Because I speak out, and I tell them I don't care, and I give them the middle finger, because it is my duty as a Palestinian. You can attempt to slander me. You can attempt to silence people like me, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work with Palestinians, and it's not going to work with courageous people like you, with courageous Americans who stand up for justice. And if you look at the people that are here, we might not be 500 people. Ideally, we want 5,000 people to be here, okay? But each and every one of you is courageous, because we have a Jewish organization here, right? Code Pink, who are majority Jews, all right? Two? Oh, and exactly, and Trua, who's another Jewish organization. This should tell you that the plight of the Palestinian people has nothing to do with religion. I'm not here because I'm Muslim. I happen to be Muslim, but this is not why I'm here. I mean, it's okay to be religious. It's okay to come here if you believe in God and the gospel and whatever you want to believe in. If that brings you here to fight justice, that's fine. But we need to understand that the plight of the Palestinian people has nothing to do with religion. The Palestinians can trace their origins to the land of Palestine for over 5,000 years, from when they were Canaanites, before Islam, before Judaism, before Christianity, before all of the Abrahamic faiths, before Arabs. We were Canaanites even before Arabs. So you need to understand that these are the tricks. They say, well, Jews were there first. Well, Abraham came from Mesopotamia. That's #1. Okay? So let's stop this nonsense. It has nothing to do with religion, and everything to do with human rights, with human dignity, with human justice. I don't care if you're an atheist. You have to fight for human rights in general. If you don't care about human rights, then you just don't care, right? That's fine and dandy. But if you act like you care, then you must stand with all oppressed people. You must stand with the Jews who were oppressed in the Holocaust. To deny the injustice in Palestine is to deny the Holocaust. It's the same thing. You can't say Palestine never existed and then talk about the Holocaust. It doesn't make sense, because the Nazis say the Holocaust never happened, and the Zionists say Palestine never existed. So they're one and the same. They're one and the same. When Palestine is liberated, I personally guarantee you that we would have the pleasure and honor for any peace-loving Jew who fights for justice to be my neighbor. You can be my next-door neighbor in Palestine if you're fighting for the Palestinian people. I don't care about your religion, whether you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim. You are welcome in Palestine. As a Palestinian, I'm telling you, you are welcome.